I found it. Man. I've got a good spark on this coil too, but I was starting to think, oh man, am I going crazy? So anyway, I decided, yes, I better take the, back up. Yes, I'd better take the valve cover off and have a look, because it's just like the intake valve's not letting gas in. Well, lo and behold, if you can smooth the light, Bruce. If you can see right there on the exhaust valve, there's the push rod there, right? But there's the push rod for the intake valve right there. It's not on, if you can see. Right there. Bada boom, bada bing. Must have bounced off somehow. I don't know what happened. Nothing seems broken. Because quite often these snap, eh? So, I'm going to just undo this and see if we can re-thread that baby back on. And set the... Oh. 8 million motor. Trying to release the push rod adjuster. There. All right. Now, at the same time, I want to release and free up that push rod. Ooh, I hope it's not broken. No, it's not. Okay. So now we need to look inside there. Hard to say. Hard to say. But it's out of adjustment anyway. And now it's got a new carburetor and a coil that doesn't fit. But I'm just going to turn this way out. I don't even know if this is a Chonda, to be honest with you. Okay, pair of pliers. It's not bent. Oh, okay. Spark plug. Let's take that out and just make life a little easier for ourselves. So I was still feeling some suction there, but it was probably pulling oil up through the crankcase. Okay, should be able to turn that easier now. Not a lot. Oh, I'm rubbing. Good. Now, something doesn't feel right. turn this all the way out. I don't want to lose that in there. I don't know. I gotta have a decent look down in that hole. Sorry. All right, I think I got it, but I gotta change the battery. Okay, I did get it in, and we have some up and down motion. See that? So now I'm going to tighten this up till we open the valve. Probably somewhere about there. And then we have, my gosh, we still have there's a valve open. So my friends, that I got to change this to 0.1. Okay, so 0.1 of a millimeter is basically 4/1000ths of an inch, and I went to the engine Lonkin valve guide clearance page for Lonkin, which is, there's not much information, right? And it says here that 0.1 millimeter for the intake and 0.15 millimeters for the exhaust. And I went to the conversion, and 0.1 is 4/1000ths, but I've set this one at 6/1000ths because the exhaust, I found it at 8/1000ths. So let's just go the other way around here. Let's go, if we can do this, 0.008 makes it 0.2, which is just a bit bigger as well, but it's in the zone. So I think that's what the intakes are usually a little bit smaller than the exhausts. Eh? Okay, I'm tired. It's a long day. So I ended up damaging the grommet that goes into the, where is that thing? That goes into the plug Duhammer holder that looks just like a Briggs & Stratton Duhammer holder. There it is. That's the part I damaged, just because, right? But this is the original coil. I had a different coil on there that worked. And now that we've actually adjusted the intake valve that came loose, we'll talk about that in a minute. These have, if you look inside there, I don't know if you can see, they have a screw type thing, and all that screw thing does, believe it or not, is it screws into the end of the, almost looks like a coax cable for TV. In fact, you could probably use coax. And I'm going to just screw this in here like this until it doesn't screw in anymore. It's really not an art. It's just what you got to do sometimes to make stuff work. And you just keep going until it doesn't turn in anymore. Like that. Okay, so now we got a new do thingy. A coil with a connector for the spark plug. That would be the technical term for the doohingy. So now we're going to mount this coil, and we're going to use a new business card. What would be a lucky business card? Bulldog Metals. You know what? Those guys have been so good to me. They are going to be my new spacer thingy business card producer. So we're just going to connect this up. So now, I don't know if you guys can see this, but I'm really confident that we've got this under control. I'm going to attach the rest of the valve cover right after I finish this. So we turn this. This is our 1/10,000 spacer. So the magnet is dead in the middle. And now we're going to loosen this off. Wiggle it in the home plate and then tighten it back up. We're going to turn the engine over so that we get our card back. So, and I was probably standing right in front of you. I'm sorry. I'm getting tired. Tighten that valve cover up. And I had to kind of guess on the valve clearances. I don't know if I showed you that, or hopefully that makes it onto the video. But I set the exhaust I found was 8, and I usually find that the intake is a little bit less than the exhaust. So I set it for 6. The Longkin factory, which is really hard to find information on because they're Chinese, right? And they say 6 and 4. Should make the intake 4 thousandths, but I think we're good. So let's just tighten up. Ooh, I don't like the feel of that. Don't forget, this is a valve cover, and it's made out of cork. Okay, there's 1. 2. Nothing's tight yet, right? Feels tight. I don't know what's going on there. I see. There we go. They've got a shank. They're a shanked bolt. Shoulder bolt. That one doesn't seem happily tight though. You gotta play with this stuff, guys. You just don't drive it home because it's aluminum, right? I'm gonna move this guy to this guy here to see if it feels any better. Worse. Whatever it is. So this was a scary repair. There we go. It's like they had Loctite on them in the original install. Excuse me. So why did that intake push rod fall off after 5 hours of use? I can't get an exploded view of this particular motor to see if there's a valve cap on that and it's reaching too far and it's overstressed. I don't know. Okay, so let's do this. 1. Crisscross. Are you in? Yes, kind of. You're kind of there. You guys know what I'm doing. Putting the valve cover back on. A little stiff all the way, eh? Don't you hate that? As a technician, when it doesn't feel right. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gosh, I think we're almost ready to at least spin her over with the drill and see if we have contact. I don't know, it's a little dangerous to do with the camera rolling. but I'm going to sit here with my finger on the switch ready to pull back. You ready? Ooh, it's going to go. Okay. Well, that was exciting. So let's get the rewind back on there. Maybe we'll just give it one more crank to see if it stays going for just a minute. Oop. Good enough for a pump. So like the old bridges, or pardon me, Briggs, it still uses with wind vane to help activate the choke, eh? It probably gives it a little faster action because these heat controlled chokes are really slow. Now I'm just installing the 10mm nuts to hold down the rewind. We're there, dudes. Guys and gals. And I guarantee you that any gal that's a mechanic, like my niece, they can handle a certain amount of verbiage. Alright, so we're almost there. We just have to get this fancy cover back on. And I don't know if there's even anything but 3 screws to hold this, and they're already inside there. Right. This goes through here. The little things are always the stuff that seem to take forever, and you just want to get it started, right? And I'm still worried about the oil level on this little engine. Nothing's easy. When you're tired at the end of the day is when you really want to use an impact to put stuff together. But that's the wrong thing to do because you just strip the plastic out. Now this gent that owns this, his name is Scott. He made a valiant effort, but I don't think he wanted to tear into the motor, and that's kind of fun. I have to put my spark detector back into its package because they really deteriorate from all the gasolines and everything. Where did it go? It's probably laying down here somewhere in some gas. So my friends, I think we're there. I don't have any parts left but this broken spark plug adapter, which I replaced. I found I tried the carburetor a few times, but the fact that I think he had used a gasket sealer on this main heat shield, it was a good thing that we took the carburetor apart and cleaned it up. So now I'm just putting the gas cap back on. Now, all I want to do is I just want to run it for 15 seconds to see if it smooths out, because the chokes on these things are really a mystery. They're just too loose and floppy for this modern day, in my mind, in my little mind. So, I think it's going to get an oil change just because it needs some more love. And no air filter. WTF. Where's the fairness? So I'm expecting it to run at least good, if not great now, to get a feel for it. Perfect. I'm just going to pull her. We're on, we have choke, we have fuel. Okay, that's about as good as it gets for a Chinese stationary engine because they don't have a flywheel like a blade on a lawnmower. So now it's time to take this bad boy into the backyard and see if she sprays. Okay, we're getting a little bit of water come back through the soap dispenser. I hope that's not conducive of a bad pump. But we'll start her up and we'll see how it goes. And we don't have an air filter cover, eh? Well, I call that a success. I might just turn the governor up just a tiny bit, eh? Because it's really working hard to, or I could turn the pump volume down. That's probably easier on the motor. Where's the adjustments for that? Right there underneath that cap. Anyway, it's a win. Thanks for watching this. If I turn the cap down, all you need is an Allen wrench and a 10 millimeter screw, and you just get in there and hold one and turn the other one down and then tighten the other one back up again right there. So I got to think about that. I need a drink of water, and we are there. Alright, I turned down the output of the pump just enough. It was almost running faster than the fuel it could drink. And it's still running with plenty of pressure. So on that, just on that side note, there's the valve that controls the pressure right there. Okay, so you take a screwdriver and you hold that still, and you turn this nut off, which is 8 millimeter, and then you turn this counterclockwise 1 or 2 turns or whatever you think, and then you tighten up this little tiny nut. But this screw is so soft that I just held it still and I turned this in instead of turning this out, and it does the same thing. So we're there. I just got to put the choke cover back on, or oh my gosh, I must be tired. The air cooler cover, and then we'll send it back to the customer. I guess I should give you a demo of that, eh? So we will be bad and we'll turn this right on its side. Probably going to drip gas on my lawn, so we're going to go over to the sidewalk. There we go. You guys can watch right from there. This is what kills cameras, eh? Okay, so we loosen the 8mm nut. Like that, see that? And you take a screwdriver and you can turn this out a little bit. Just like that. And then you hold that there and then you tighten up the little 8mm nut again. But that's a really soft adjustment screw. You can already see it's chewed up a little bit. So in the process then, when I'm finishing up, I just tighten it up with the big nut. And then it gets a covered piece of plastic on there. So I just turned it down a tiny bit more is what you saw there. There's the plastic cover, which is hokey pokey too, right? Oops. There. So now it should even be running better. And I did spill oil right there, so I got to get that right now. So thanks for watching this one, guys.